I think, okay. So today we have Julio with us. He lives in Brazil. He's a friend that I met in one of those seminars, spiritist seminars in Brazil. And Julio is like Maria and Luis. He knows spiritism for a long, long time. The- and which is good because he has a lot to say, and he knows a lot about all these books that sometimes we do not find translation, or but I hope that's good. And he prepared a very long and in-depth material for us. Again, I don't think we'll cover everything in a single meeting, but this is going to be recorded, and then we can always come back to the video and catch up with if yeah, because I see some people they were not able to make it. With that, I will open the session with the opening prayer. So let's close our eyes. Take a deep breath. Invite our mentors. Actually, they are already here. The mentors of this group, the mentors of this study, as they gather here with us, as well as those discarnate who come to this meeting like us in search for and looking for education, looking for more information, looking for guidance. So let's thank first God our Father for this opportunity, for the blessing of life. And let's ask Him to embrace us in this very moment and bring us the peace that will allow us to understand, to better settle all this information into our hearts so we can use them in our daily lives as we face the challenges on our journey. We also ask our Master Jesus to embrace Julio right now with all the positive vibration, the positive energy, so he can present and unfold all this information, all this study that he prepared to us the best way he can, the best way, so we make the most of this opportunity. Thank you, Lord. Stay with us today, tomorrow, and always. And so be it. So Julio, just want to let you know, Gloria and Carol, myself, we are here in US. Hyacinth is in Vienna, so it's kind of late for her. So you know how dedicated she is. But please go ahead and present yourself so they know you.
So good afternoon. Thank you, Anna. Thank you for the nice prayer. Yeah, I hope Jesus inspires us today. So good afternoon, guys. Yeah, as Anna said, I'm from Brazil. Lived all my life here and studied Spiritism since I was a kid. And we try to make the best of it and share what we have received without paying for free. So we give for free. So that's our motto. And yeah, if we can share the study, it's not I'm going to pass anything, just share. and we study together. And if you guys have any comments, please let me know, or any doubts, or if I didn't make myself clear, also raise your hands. You can interrupt me, no problem. Uh, I work offshore. I'm a HSC technician, and I work offshore for an Italian company, by the way. So I've been all around, but especially in Brazil, working on the Brazil's offshore basin. And yeah, I love what I do, and I love studying. And that's, I think, the most grateful part is that whenever we study, the more we study, more things happen to make us study even more. So we learn that we know nothing. It's just the beginning, and that's the beauty of life. It's whatever. Okay. So, and to start with this marvelous book, On the Way to the Light, by the Spirit of Emmanuel. I know that you guys know already, and also by Francisco Cândido Xavier. We know our Chico. Okay, that's how we call him here in Brazil, the nickname. And this book, just for you to know that how important this is. This book, uh, they put together a group of scholars, especially religious and especially spiritist studies, writers, and all of these, let's say, important people in the Spiritism movement. And they asked them the 10 books that they think are important to the Spiritism, besides, not counting the books from Allan Kardec, of course. But the 10 books out of the Allan Kardec's book, which ones they think are most important, and they have to justify. It was a very serious, let's say, search or research or poll, and took a long time to our Brazilian Federation, Spirits Federation. Our FEB was entitled of checking this and making sure everybody were transparent. And yeah, this book, On the Way to the Light, was one of the 10 books most important considered by this group of people. I don't know, 100 people voted, and this one was not the first. The first one was Nosso Lar, Our Home, which is also very good. So how important this book is for us. And this book was published in 1939, so a long time ago. And you will see that some of the words, some of the concepts were a little bit different from today. So if you have any doubts, again, we can clear them. And just consider that 1939, before the Second World War, so some things are not, or are already outdated when we mention them, but we can clear out any doubts that you guys have. Okay, so without further ado, let's start. If you guys already have something to say, you can mention. Anna, go ahead.
I can. So I'm curious now that you mentioned this. I didn't know there was this pool done a while
Yeah,
ago. So you said people had to vote and say
justify
why and
why they
justify.
think this
So
book.
why this book was selected was as one of the 10th
Yeah,
within that.
in this poll they didn't mention exactly why they voted, because each one has a special way to say, or their own opinion, how or why. But it was voted like that. But for sure, because of the content of this book, okay, and the date it was published, and the content this book brings, new concepts or new information that we didn't have, or we had a little bit of information from Kardec's books, but then he brings to us more information that we connect, and we will connect this. So that's why, and this book goes through the history of humankind, and other friends as well. Let's say like that. Okay, that's why it's so
Yeah,
important.
I want yeah. Sometimes when we are studying the Allan Kardec book, we say that during that period of war, the Second World War, there were a lot of uh, books talking about the reality of the spirit, right? It was
Yeah,
like the spirits trying to remind the whole humanity, hey, stop fighting against each other. There are a lot of things, way
yeah,
better for you guys to do, and those kind of things was kind of a recall or trying to bring people's attention to the other side, right?
yeah. This book is
To
the
the
same.
real
Give
life.
us give us a perspective from the past, but also call us to the future, and we'll see that on the book as well. And
Mhm.
but another thing I have to say is about our friend uh, Emmanuel. And okay, of course, Chico Xavier is also uh, will be together. But Emmanuel, he has let's say we call it here in Brazil, he has a power of condensing things. He talks about a huge topic, which is a long, extensive topic in 3 lines. So you will see that we will need, I don't know, 3 months to talk about this book if we start talking, uh, let's say, paragraph by paragraph, line by line. His power of synthesizing things is phenomenal, and that's why he's a mentor, Chico Xavier's mentor, uh, for sure. And we will thank him for that, of course. And the humility, the compromise of Chico Xavier is fantastic. You guys know. I already spoke to Anna. She already told me that you guys know about them. It's very important. That's why when we check, or when we study one of his books or their books, it's very important for our whole movement. So this book has 25 chapters. Okay, I don't know if you guys see. I think you can see. I just
Yes.
put some colors just to organize in a way, but there's no, it's not mandatory to organize anything. It's just because, as Anna said, it was going to be just today, and you see 25 chapters talking about the whole history of the world since, let's say, civilized even since the beginning, the Genesis, of course, the planetary Genesis, and then the gospel and the future is the last one. Come on, how can we talk about it? Millions of years in just 1 hour is too much. So I try to condense as well to give us just the gist of it, and so we can not waste time and just focus on the most important. But no problem. In case we need, I come back one more time so we can continue in case of we don't finish on time. And no problem. I can repeat anytime. I can come back another day. I'm always available. Okay. So what I did was just because we have same topics as the genesis of the planet, this the beginning of organized life. Then we have the civilizations, the old ones, the Egyptian, the Indian, the people of Israel, the Aryans, the millenary China. Then we go home, Rome, the advent of Jesus when Jesus is born, the Roman Empire, the growth of Christianity, then the barbarian invasions, the medieval era, and also the abuses from religious power, the Crusades. And we turn again to the Renaissance, the transition, the French Revolution, and we complete this book when we reach the 19th century of Illuminism and also the advent of Spiritism. And today, we cannot forget about talking today, and also the future of the gospel of Jesus. Okay, so
Yes, sometimes people they get confused when they read the first topic, the planetary Genesis. Uh, it's not about the book of Genesis. It's not about the story of the creation of the universe, but the planet itself.
correct.
Right?
Yeah, it's just something interesting that on the preface he receives it's a message that was psychographic by Divaldo Pereira Franco. I don't know if you guys are aware, know him. I think
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
In 1938, he gave this message to Divaldo, and Divaldo gave to Francisco, of course, to put on the book. So this message was even before the publishing of the book. It was the preface, and he already explains that it will not be a historical study. The history of the world has already been compiled and concluded. Instead, we will contribute to the subject of religion by explaining the sacred influence of faith and spiritual evolution down through the course of Earth's civilization. Okay, so that was this is the also our focus is not to talk about history. We know we have already the books, history has been compiled, but we have to talk about it with the light of the Spiritism and how the spirits, the higher plane, worked to make us come and reach until we are today. That's, I think, the good focus. And to start, he will start from the beginning. That's when he says the planetary genesis. And what Anna said is, yeah, okay, it's not about the the space, but it's about
The
our
universe.
world, Earth. Yeah, the universe is not about it. He will not speak. Maybe he can. I don't know. But what he got was starting from the Earth because it's about us. It's not about other worlds or other beings. It's about us. And when he talks about the community of pure spirits. For me, when I start reading this, what? Wow, he's starting from way above our knowledge. So let's see. And he, in as I said, in one paragraph, he condenses so much, he synthesizes so much the information that this paragraph I can talk about the whole meeting today, and we have still we still have things to talk in the next meetings because he starts like this: the traditions of the spirit world say that in the governance of all the phenomena of our system, there is a community of pure spirits chosen by the Supreme Lord of the universe, whose hands hold the guiding reins of the life of all planetary collectiveness. Okay, you guys have time, so let's start. This, I highlight the traditions just to say that Emmanuel is not he's not, it doesn't belong to the community of pure spirit. He received that by tradition. So someone gave this information to him like we are being given now because we don't have access and neither does he, right? So he's talking about something that he doesn't have access, and we know that he's a good spirit, but he's talking about way above our pay grade, way above our class of spirits. And when he talks about the community, it's not one person; it's a bunch of people, of beings, of spirits that form a community of pure spirits, and they are chosen by the Lord, our Supreme Lord, and their hands, they have the guides of all the life, all the planetary life collectivity, sorry, right? So first, how can we find out they are pure? So you guys know that we have on the Spirit's book, questions from 100 to 113, we have what the definition of pure spirits. Allan Kardec says the first and only class. There is no other class. It's the only class about the pure spirits. That these spirits have ascended through all the degrees of hierarchy and have freed themselves from all impurities of matter, having reached the highest perfection possible for created beings. They have no more trials or expiations to endure. Moreover, because they are no longer subject to reincarnation in perishable bodies, they live eternally in the bosom of God. Okay, of course, you can ask, no, but Jesus came, he incarnated. Of course, he did. He's on a mission. Okay, they don't have to, they're not subject to reincarnation due to their debts because they don't have any more debts. They have paid all their debts. And now, if they have to incarnate, they only come on missions like we know Jesus and other ones that we know from our studies, right?
Yeah,
So,
they don't have to reincarnate, but when they do
oh
only
yeah,
because of love, right?
correct,
So, yeah.
perfect, yes. And when they come because of love, and they don't have any more. They're not subject to make any mistakes. When they come like Jesus did, and they just pass here without any debt. They come and they come back and they go back the same way they came, because they reach the highest degree when we talk about our spirit hierarchy. As you can see, if you guys want uh, this presentation will be sent to Anna. Anna can share with you. So I will not, let's say, waste so much time here, just for you to know and to understand that when we talk about us, we are more or less here. Okay, some of us could be here, and very rarely one of us will be from this class here. But yeah, most of the people incarnated in on Earth, they are they belong to this order. They are from the third order, and okay, we might see one of two coming from the second order. And when Jesus came, he came from the first class, from the first order, the pure spirits, right? And that's why when we come back here, we understand that there is not only Jesus is considered the belonging to the community of pure spirits. It's a bunch of people. I don't know. We don't have the number, but we know that for sure, at least for each world, each orb, there is a Christ, there is a governor, there is a pure spirit. Okay, so minimum 8, 9 plus the Son. So we have this group of people, of good friends, of good pure
Multiplied
spirits.
by number of galaxies and
And
planetary systems.
you can stay
It's
forever.
huge.
Yes, you can stay forever. When he talks about our planetary system, it's just our solar system. If we go beyond, we just think of there is the Milky Way galaxy. There are many more pure spirits that take care of this galaxy with many planets, with many stars, and so on and so forth. We can get not only the galaxies, but the group of the galaxies. And because of our telescope, James Webb, we just found out that we have a trillion of galaxies. And in these galaxies, we have trillions of solar
Solar
systems, and
systems.
we have trillions of planets. So each planet is inhabited by billions of spirits. So we can stay here forever and ever. It's infinitive. All right. We
Just counting,
cannot.
yeah.
Yeah, we cannot even think about it. You don't have the power to understand how big it is. We know that it's very, very big, right? So this community of pure spirits, as he said, he continued. He's saying that from what we have been told, again, he doesn't have access. Someone told him, okay? This community made of perfect angelic beings, of which Jesus is one of the divine members, has met in the vicinity of Earth only twice in the course of the known millennia to decide urgent issues pertaining to the organization and direction of our planet. So, of our planet, it's not only Jesus making the decisions, they got together and they planned and made decisions for the organization of our planet. So it's not something made without any planning. Okay, so when we talk about it, we think of a huge enterprise. Think of a big company that has the CEO, that has all the managers, directors, and all these people gathering to decide and planning for a new branch that's going to open somewhere in New York. You can think about it. So this group of board of directors, they will start planning and doing all the necessary planning or decisions, making decisions. So imagine these community of pure spirits. When we talk about an enterprise here, that we have the board of directors, they do very well. They plan and all these meticulous things, all the details to open a new branch. Imagine when we have a new orb to start, and they just need to decide, and they have a community of pure spirits deciding. They don't make any mistakes because they already reach what they need to reach regarding intellectual and also moral evolution. So these ones, when we want to think about, wow, what's going on our planet, and we think that they are not being conducted in a good way, we have to regret ourselves, because this community of pure spirits, they are taking care. And elected by God was one of them. Yeah. The first meeting took place when the terrestrial orb detached from the solar nebula, so that the demarcations of our cosmogonic system and the prototypes of life in the fiery matter of the planet could be set in space and time. The second occurred when the Lord's coming to the earth was determined in order to bring the immortal lesson of his gospel of love and redemption to the human family. So between this community of pure spirit, it was chosen our Lord Jesus to be the governor of the planet. So who is responsible to take care, and he is, right. And but also this community of good spirits, of pure spirits, they don't let our Lord decide alone. If they need, they gather again, and they all decide together, because all the other planets, uh, they 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 need each other. Not only Mars needs us, we need Mars, and so on and so forth. We're all together. We are not only a community on the Earth, we are a community also a planetary, a cosmogonic, and so on and so forth. You can stay again forever thinking about how we are connected to each other on the solar system, on our galaxy, and then so on and so forth. Okay. Also, you can find this information in the Spirits Review, the ones who like to search, of 1868, February, the version of February. They call the instructions of the spirits. They also call it marked spirits. They talk a little bit different, but the content is the same. When we talk about superior spirits, they come freely. They have a free will. Also, the marked spirits, when they come on mission, and when they talk about the messiahs, the highest degree. So it's just to give you another information where we can find, not only on the Spirits book, but also on the Spirits Review. We have messages talking about and explaining about these divine beings. And we have to call them divine because they reach the highest degree. Okay, guys, so on. So far, is it clear? Any questions? You can stop me, huh? Because I tend to go. Don't hesitate.
I guess one thing to point out is the fact that these meetings, the first meeting happened billions and billions and billions of years ago. And yet Jesus was already a pure spirit by then.
Yeah. Actually,
So,
this meeting is our planet is 4.5 billion years old. So when we had 4.5 billion years ago, they already were pure spirits. Okay, we're talking about 4.5 billion years ago. They were already pure spirits. So, and they were not just pure spirits that day, for sure. They
oh
were
yeah,
pure spirits long,
for a
long way,
long
long
time.
time. Yeah,
Yeah, that's why they say that the planetary system that, once Jesus lived, perhaps doesn't exist anymore for a
for
long
sure.
time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and also one thing that we have to point out is that as we have a community of pure spirits, we have Jesus as the governor of our planet, and we have also the governor of the galaxy or the solar system. There is one pure spirit who is responsible for the 9 planets plus the sun, and he is for sure. And we all, with all due respect of our Lord, he is for sure, he has for sure more creation power than Jesus. He's probably, let's say, ahead in the evolutionary path, ahead of Jesus. And that's normal because we are behind. Jesus is far away, but there are some ones that are far away from Jesus. Jesus has his own Christ, as you said. His planet probably doesn't exist anymore, but he has a Christ who is giving him still orientation. He has a Christ, and we will be like that, and so on and so forth. There is the Christ who controls the whole galaxy of Milky
Galaxy.
Way, and there is a Christ who controls the group of galaxies, which is even higher, and so on. But there is only one perfect, which is our God. So even though we have the pure spirits, we still have the supreme Lord who is the perfection, and that's why in the gospel the when the doctor of laws asked Jesus,
Yes.
good master, and he said, no, good, there is only one who is God. So he was just pointing out that still we have someone better, and so on and so forth, until we reach our supreme Lord. And that's the perfect one, the 100% perfect, as you said. Okay, just to have a context on that. But as we are so little in the evolutionary scale or evolutionary pyramid, whoever comes here from the pure spirit community of pure spirits, whoever comes down here, we think and we understand that he is perfect, because with our difficulties, with our defects, with our sins, they don't have this problem anymore. They are not subject to these uh, errors or mistakes. So that's why for us they are considered perfect, and this perfection is also so on and so forth. And for Jesus, there is someone who is more perfect than him. Is it confusing, guys, or is it clear?
It's, it's clear to me, I guess. Yeah.
But I need to know from the others. They're so quiet. Is it okay, or you guys can follow up on this thought, train of thought? They're down.
Yeah, I do not know if you can see them, but they are pointing
Ah, okay.
up.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I cannot see.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, no. Yeah,
Okay.
I had
Yeah.
my second screen. Sorry, my monitor just kaput. Banana. Okay, so let's continue. We have also on the first chapter talking about the divine sculpture and That's what I want to say. When Jesus received from our Lord the matter from the Son to his august and compassionate hands, it started shaping our geological sculpture, start shaping our orb in the in the early times. And we call it's very beautiful how Emmanuel puts here, chiseling out the blessed and grand school, where his heart would be expanded in love, light, and justice. So he shaped. It's not something that happened out of nowhere, like a snap of a finger. No, there was a work, there was calculus, physics, of course, everything, science behind it. It's not something magical. There is no magic. Everything is done according to the logical and the laws of God. All right. And so that's what we need to understand that. Okay. If the Father dislocated the matter from the Son, so you have something that makes sense, and then by his hands, his thought, his he started shaping it. Okay, of course we cannot fully understand how he did it because we are not there yet, but our science is also evolving, that one day we will understand how he did it. Okay, because he already said that we will do what he does or what he did in the past, and even more. So we will understand how it happened. So far, we have to understand that this was not just from a snap of a finger. It happened through billions and billions and billions of years, and his patience, right, and his love for us, because he was preparing this orb to receive us in the future, right? That as it happened. So he, just to give us one information on the Bible, when we have the Genesis, I'm talking about the book of the Bible, the first book, the Genesis, when we have this sentence, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Okay, of course, they could not explain, but when we see the Bible, they put just God. But when we go to the dictionary in Hebrew, and there is the sentence there, Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim vet haaretz. My Hebrew is worse. Forgive me for that, but that's the sentence in Hebrew. Elohim means God, not God, gods. Okay, I put it right here. Why? Because this part from the Hebrew is like our S in English language and also in Portuguese. When we want to point out a plural, a noun, we put an S or some other form, but normally we put an S. And that's why we can relate to what Emmanuel said, that there is no just one. There was a group of people, the gods, that shaped from the matter that our Lord gave from the Son, that dislocated from the Son. Then it was shaped by these group of pure spirits, in which Jesus is part of it. And it's not only just the Earth, all the other planets for sure the same way, right? And this group of this community of good spirits, not only they helped, but they're still working with Jesus on our benefit. Okay, so Jesus organized the scenario of life, creating under God's eyes. There's always supervised, always God's creation is always supervised by Him, right? And what I want to point out is that, okay, you might think of, but God does not create the earth. Yeah, He created. We will talk about it soon, but I want to point out that God uses us as instrument of creation, right? And what we call co-creators, and that's why it's clear. But it was a group of pure spirits entitled to create our planet. Anna, you raised the hand again. Go on.
Yeah, just to make it clear, when you're talking about this group of pure spirits, you're not talking because right here in this chapter, it talks about specifically about the planet Earth.
Correct.
So it is Jesus plus his helpers,
Of
other
course.
pure spirits helping Jesus to shape and put the planetary system all together. Meaning, the same happened to the other planets in this solar system. Same group of pure spirits. I mean, another group, not the same, but same category of pure spirits, but not only one guy and above this guy, God. No, was a group of pure spirit led by the governor of this planetary system. And so they shaped and they created that orb, that planet. But that same, let's call cell or same team was how can I say, there was a repetition of the same group everywhere, the whole
The same
across the whole
standards.
universe.
The same
Exactly.
standard. The same
Mhm.
standard.
Yeah.
It might be, well, as you said, might be a different group because God has many, many, many employees. Let's say, if in case of
Yes.
if we compare as an enterprise or a company, God has many, many employees. And
Mhm.
in the near future, in the next slides, I will show that we have many more highly evolved beings that the opposite, right? And
Mhm.
these beings, they are working continuously. When we say that rest in peace, when we die or when we perish, forget about it. There is no rest in peace, right? We
Some
work
more work.
even more. We work and we work. Okay,
Mhm.
so that's the only way to evolve, working. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter if you work in the company or if you work at home or if you work like here, studying or presenting and studying again or discussing. This is work, and we are counting and being accounted on our record, right?
Yeah, and this is the type of revelation that I don't know, Julio, at least to me, it is so uplifting. It gives me so much
Yeah.
hope knowing, oh my goodness, it's not a Jesus way up there, and then it's gonna take forever time for me to get there. No, lots of people got there already. So meaning one day we will too.
Yeah, and it makes sense for to me when he when you go to the Bible and we study the Gospels, when he has the sentence that the work you will do the work I do, and even more. So
Exactly.
that's what we're just speaking about, the evolution here, and we go
Mhm.
about it when we will reach the pure spirits, and we will go even further because okay, he is still evolving as well. When we reach
Mhm.
what he's doing, he's already way beyond us because he will be our Christ forever. Of course, he will be ahead of us forever. But we will
Mhm.
reach where he was when he came to the earth, when he incarnated. So that's what he said. And it makes so much perfect sense now when I started studying this, not only this book, but the Spiritism. Because when before that, when we read it, you cannot understand. How can you?
Mhm.
Because yeah, when he said you're God as well, you're gods as well. So why? Because we are going to be gods, same as one day it will take. How long? I don't know. It depends on us, on
Mhm.
how we want. We can endure more suffering, or we can just, let's say, start working right now. We can choose. We have this free will to choose how it's going to be, right? So that's the beauty of that. It's not just one thing and ciao, finito. Just forget
Mhm.
about it. No, it's
Mhm.
forever, and that's the beauty of it because we will reach this stage where, as they call happiness, because we don't suffer from our debts anymore. We don't making that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We're not susceptible to making mistakes, and we work on this beauty of creating or organizing the life. Okay, we'll be the opposite. We'll be from there taking care of our brothers and sisters who are, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
behind of us. That's what will happen, and it's always like this. It's always been like this, and it will be forever and ever. For me, is the most beautiful thing when I start learning. It was this revelation that one day we will be just like him, and that's so beautiful for me. So when we were still on chapter 1, right? That's why. The divine sculptor, it's a beautiful sentence. Why sculptor? And then you can just relate when he incarnated, he was what? Carpenter. So
Mm-hmm.
manual working, handling, creating, shaping. So yeah, that's so beautiful because he is our sculptor. He's our carpenter, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's the thing about him also being born as a Hebrew. That culture was so full of symbolism
oh yeah,
and using codes, and his entire life was an example. Like nothing was done by chance, nothing was done just because of, whatever. There was always a meaning. It is very interesting now that you mentioned this, so he was a little boy. His father on earth was a carpenter, and he was making stuff, with his own hands, but he did that for the entire planet.
of
So
course,
it
yeah,
was an indication when the prophecies say that he came over here to fulfill a mission. So his entire life was a matter of fulfilling prophecies and
oh,
telling us in a simple acts like this who he was,
he
right?
promised that.
Messiah.
Yeah, he promised that, and I will show you soon. He promised this. So Jesus, from the higher realms, he with the divine interpreters of his thought. I cannot leave this one behind. So Jesus thought that holds everything we have here. The whole earth is being sustained by his thought, right? And the divine interpreters, his friends, pure spirits, like him or, you know, maybe below, but his divine interpreters. And when we have this word divine, for sure, you can put them in the higher hierarchy of spirits, and for
Pure
sure
spirit.
they're the pure. Yeah, for sure they're the pure ones, and uh, divine interpreters. So not only one, many helpers he had. Right then, a cloud of cosmic forces from the vastness of unlimited space descended upon the Earth to envelop the immense planetary laboratory lying in repose. So there was not only something out of the blue or something a coincidence. No, there was very meticulous, calculated, planned work that they did since the beginning until today, being sustained by the thought of our Lord, who is still working 24 hours a day on our benefit, right? For us. He's working for us. That's why he's so humble, because he wants us to grow as well, right?
Mhm. Yeah, by thought we can take this as his will, right? The same way
Yeah, he
that he
sustains.
say that our will creates our reality. So
Yeah,
his
and
will
it's
created the entire planet.
the opposite when Emmanuel says here that his hands it's a figurative, figure of speech, because he's not using his hands. Now, when he reached this high hierarchy of good, pure spirit, he's now using everything, he's doing everything with his hand. He knows us by, sorry, his thought. He knows us by his thought. We communicate, when we reach there, the communication is by thought. And the will is done by the power of thought, not hands anymore. They don't have a body anymore. Forget about it. It's a pure light, just light. Okay. Under his merciful, wise guidance of the Christ, numerous groups of spirit workers labored on earth. Just to confirm again, right? Nature became a huge workshop of gigantic experiments. Just think about it. Spirits of all sorts of, let's say, of positions: the architect, the designer, the botanics, the medical, many types, right? Geological. All these spirits were working on the gigantic experiments, meaning they have to start from scratch, working, shaping, using, interpreting the thought of Jesus, who is also interpreting the thought of God, and so on and so forth. But it's not something out of the blue. It's not something done by one. It's one is the responsible, who is our Supreme Lord. But he uses the many workers he has to work. And this work also is good for them, because they like us, we grow, and they are growing, but they are in a more, let's say, huge, huge, oh, the word just slipped from my thought, enterprise, the huge mission, which is creating an orb. And we will reach there, because we are working here. I don't know if you guys are architect or if you are a biologist, but one day you will be the biologist from a Christ, who is going to think of a creation of new species and using the evolution. And again, evolution, that we know, is just something that we know, but it's not complete. Why? Because the evolution doesn't happen only on the earth. The evolution happens also in another world, which is the higher plane. So we have the experiments done on earth in the physical matter, and also on the spirit matter, and so on and so forth, and coming and going. So that's why we have the questions: how the giraffe have appeared with a bigger neck. Of course, we have the physical and the logical way. It started growing because needs to reach higher places. But when it started, we don't know. But we have this book called Evolution in Two Worlds, where explain how it was done, this evolution, right, in a more detailed way, and confirms what our Darwin says, but goes even beyond, explaining that the experiments or the creation we have of the animals, of the human beings, and of everything was done here, there, first there, and second here, and then being improved, because it's not something that is just done again from the snap of a finger. It's something that's being worked. When we create something, a product, a new product, you start from the prototype 1, and you go from prototype 20, and then you reach a certain point where, oh, now it's good to sell. And then you put it on the eBay to sell it. And that's how it's done. The same from us. So
yeah, and this is very important to mention, Julio, because
go ahead.
that is only saying that even though they are pure spirit, they create things, they can create worlds, yet they have to follow the divine laws. They are not there just like I said, snap of a finger and it's done. No, there is no magical way. That is, they still need to follow the rules of the universe.
Yeah,
Like
and our
nothing is
physical world,
created out of nothing.
yeah, No.
It has to come, in like atoms, putting atoms together and so on and so forth. Yeah.
And our world is a copy of the higher plane. The copy of the spirit's plane. It's not the opposite. It's not the other way around. We
Mhm.
copy them. So everything that is here is a copy, not perfect copy of what they already have there. And this goes everywhere, right?
Mhm.
All the planets. This serves all the planets, all the creation. The world is the copy of the spirit's plane. So when uh, André Luiz, who is the spirit that wrote the book dictated by André Luiz, using Chico Xavier to dictate the evolution into worlds, he says just like that. The divine plasma, the cosmic fluid, is the divine plasma, the breath of the creator, or the neural force of the all-knowing in this primordial element. Constellations and suns, worlds and beings vibrate and exist like fish in the ocean. We are like in the ocean, surrounded by
Mhm.
the cosmic fluid.
Mhm.
Co-creation on a higher plane. Within this original substance, at the influx of the Supreme Lord Himself, the divine intelligences connected to Him work together in a process of
Mhm.
unfathomable communion. Sorry if I mispronounce this one. It's a complicated word. Well, you cannot even understand. You cannot mention. You cannot think about this word.
Mhm.
The process, how we can understand, because it's way, way beyond our comprehension. So these high co-creation on a higher plane. Everybody is a co-creator. I'm a co-creator. I have a son, so I'm a co-creator, but in a lower plane. And Jesus and his community of pure spirits are co-creators on a higher plane. So that's why they create worlds. I create what? Here, what I have in my house. I can build up something. I'm creating. And also, I gave birth to my son. My wife gave birth, but I'm also part of it. So I'm a father. I have a responsibility. So I'm a co-creator on
Yeah,
lower plane.
if we could see, we also create uh,
Thought.
with our thoughts. We create
Yes,
shapes, we create forms with our thought, right? So we do
correct.
not see, but for those who can see, our house, everything that we have, all the places we go, they are full of creations from our thoughts,
Yeah.
good or bad,
And
right?
bad. Yeah. Yeah, and that's important to know. When we know that if we start with a bad thought, we are creating as well, and whatever we create
Mm-hmm.
stays with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the creators, the higher, co-creator on a higher plane, they have much more responsibility, but they have also much more free will, and because they already reached the pure spirits scale. So that's why they are creating worlds. One day we will be like just like that. Also continuing, he continues, André Luiz continues talking about this glorious intelligence take the divine plasma and turn it into cosmic dwellings, worlds of all kinds, whether radiant or dark, gaseous or solid. These dwellings last for millennia upon millennia, obeying predetermined laws. However, they finally wear out and are transformed. So here, transformed, since created spirits may form or co-create, but only God is the creator from all eternity. So
Mm-hmm.
we don't get out of the thinking that God is the creator. We just explain how is the creation in a more logical, in a more logical way, in a more for me, in a more uh, sensible, that I can
Mm-hmm.
touch, that I can
Mm-hmm.
understand, just like we have it here, our creation, or what we do on earth, right? And he continued about actually, Emmanuel asks a question. What about Adam and his fall from paradise? He answers, in vain do our eyes search anxiously for such legendary characters in order to locate them in space and time. We finally understand that Adam and Eve are a remembrance of spirits exiled on the dark landscape of Earth, and that Cain and Abel are two
Abel.
symbols, Abel, yes, sorry, two symbols for the human personality. So very nice explained by him when we talk about Adam and Eve that are exiled spirits. This is a remembrance from the people of that time, uh, putting together this remembrance, explaining that some time ago, long time ago, there was this group of people who were exiled to the earth. And we will talk about in the next slides. So
So
again,
Julio, we are like we are on top
ooh,
of the, yes, I know. It flies. So do
yeah.
you want to, is there a
Now
particular
I think it's
is this a good stop?
we can stop here and then continue on the next opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Although these two chapters are the, let's say, the longest ones that I have,
Mm-hmm.
because explains so well about uh, uh, our our path to reach the
The
highest degree,
creation.
the highest, yes, the highest degree on the hierarchy, and that's why I took it a little longer. But yeah, the next ones for sure, right? And yeah, we have many more to talk, right?
To
But
go
I
over.
want to, yes, I want to ask if someone besides you, Anna, if someone has a question, or if I was too uh, too clear that nobody
Yeah.
asked
Let
anything.
let me tell you, we meet for an hour. In this case, when we have, a speaker like you, then we meet for 1 hour and then we give like 10 minutes or
Ah,
so
okay,
for the
perfect.
folks to discuss. So, um, any question or comment or any idea? Everybody's so quiet today. Hi, Saint.
I say that
Maybe go
um,
ahead.
this is very interesting what you said, Julie, because a scientist was saying, and you're a scientist, I'm not, that we all started from the same two molecules, and
Correct.
we evolved. Now I'm saying that I cannot accept that from two molecules, the same thing, that you get a whale, you get an elephant, you get an ant, you get a flea, you get a lion. I mean, there must be a creator, there must be something, because they can't all change into this huge animal and then you have an ant. It doesn't make sense to me. So I think
Yeah,
there's a creator. I mean,
I share the
look at
same.
flowers, look at the different species there are. Did they decide, oh, with this we will do? I have great difficulty with that.
Yeah, there is one thing which is the same for sure, is the cosmic fluid, which is coming from God. So then the shape and is done by the co-creators, as I just explained,
Yeah,
that they know and they shape and and using the logical, using the law, they that you have as you said, an elephant, an ant, and so on and so forth. And if you get in the science, and that's the beauty of it, we share it with all the animals on the DNA. Our DNA is not so different from each other. Okay, so there is the resemblance, the similarity, which is coming from all of this, right?
Mhm.
From the creator, but the difference is so little, right? And we are not so different from each other because we are different and not so different in a way that we have this DNA that coming from the creator, but the shaping and whatever is done by these co-creators to change from each other. And of course, some things are not being reviewed yet, but we are very far from what we understood 50, 100 years ago. So that's another beauty that I love. It's that the science is also following, and one day it will be revealed as soon as, like, all the doubts that we have had in the past, now it's reviewed by science. Science also will reveal how it's being done, and the advent of the DNA revealed a lot of questions, answered a lot of questions we had. And okay, of course we still have a bunch of million questions to that we don't have answers, but already answered. And that's why I understand more with this information coming from this book and from the spiritism, that there is a logical way. Maybe I don't know how to reach there, but I know there is a logic, and I know there is something, calculus, mathematics, and everything is feasible. It's for me, I cannot reach there yet, but one day I will understand. And also Carol raised the hand. Uh, uh, did I make myself clear?
Yep.
Carol?
Yeah, I really enjoyed your talk, and I'm assuming that you're coming back.
For sure. For sure. I don't know if I come back next Saturday, but I will
Oh,
I will I will
okay.
check with Anna. No, for sure. We just started. Sorry. It's a long book. It's a condensed
Mhm.
book. And
Mhm.
the book has a 149 pages, if I'm not mistaken, but it's so condensed that we have lots of things to talk. Debbie,
Hi,
hey.
it was that's very interesting. I kind of hope that there, when we left here that there wouldn't be such a great hierarchy, but
Oh yeah.
hopefully there won't be so much competition like there is here. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, the competition is because we are in the lower orders. They don't have, when they reach the higher orders, they don't have competition. They have cooperatism. If I'm
Mhm.
Yeah, they cooperate with each other, right? So it's so beautiful. That's why they're so happy. They say the happiness there is so huge because they don't have this anymore. They already lost all these strings that attach them uh, to the bad things. Let's say in a way like that, a little
Mhm.
rude to say, but that will touch us, So the pride and selfishness, these attach us. When we lose that, when we just don't care about it anymore, we are so happy, and there's no more com, uh,
Competition.
competition, no more, just
Yeah.
cooperate.
Good.
So Julia, I just want to go back to Hyacinth comments on how come we are so different in the yet created from a same father. We learned over here studying the Spiritist book that once God created us like a intelligent principle, right?
Yes.
And then once we acquired free will, because one day um, we were intelligent but not rational. But once we became rational, then we got free will. Now our journey
No.
becomes different because our journey is a combination of decisions that we make, right? Consequences from decisions that we made. And now we are, on different journey because we need to experience different things. And that's how we are in, we have different people everywhere in the globe. Not because the essence is different. We are not. We are all children of God. But because we made different choices, because we have free will, we have different path. We have different means to evolve. But one day, once we reach to that first class, that group right there in the top, then we will understand, no, we are part of the same divine spirit, right?
Yeah, when I stopped on the slide, I was just talking about a little bit about it. Like, let's read it. During the age of the great malleability of the physical elements, the spiritual powers that oversee the earthly phenomena under the guidance of the Christ established the definitive lineage for all species, in which the spiritual principle would undergo the process of its purification on its way toward rationality. The fishes, reptiles, mammals, all their fixed lineage of development, and humans were no exception to this general rule, right? We think today we are the top of the lineage. We are not. There will be a better human being because we have the Homo sapiens, now we have the Homo sapiens sapiens, and we'll be, I don't know what we will call each other in the future, but we will be a better human being. And it started already, this process. It's a slow, very slow. We cannot feel it. We just we will know it in the future, but we cannot feel it now. But they have already started. That's the purpose of going, right? But the essence is the same. As I said from the book of Evolution in Two Worlds, the plasma, the cosmic fluid is the same. So we have all the same God DNA, the DNA from God. So why they change it so much? Because as when we get our brothers and sisters who have this disease, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Down syndrome, correct? It's one more chromosome. Is that 21st, if I'm not mistaken? Okay, that just one more chromosome. And sorry, make a whole different human being that needs help, etc. That we already know the situation. Just one chromosome. Imagine when they change, it's how it does. So that's why we have so much in common, but at the same time, we have the difference in one tiny chromosome that changes everything, right? So and for me actually is very uplifting to know that it's this way. There is a logical that they use the same base and to change and to mold and to form and to create using the same basis. Even for me, is even way more gratifying when I learn that. That's wow! It makes so much sense that they're using the same base, and through this base they change. Right? It's so beautiful that, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Julio, so much for your time.
Thank you.
For sure, you are coming back. So
I will. Don't.
So I will
wait
check
up.
with you with your schedule, guys, because sometimes he's offshore and then
Yeah,
he
it's
cannot
difficult.
rely on the connection. But I will double check on his schedule and see when is the next time he can meet with us. Okay.
No problem. We can continue from this chapter and on until we reach the end. Thank you guys
Yes.
for your patience. Sorry for anything that was not so clear. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I hope God stays with us until the next time.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Julio.
Thank you for this
God
Thank
bless.
opportunity.
you.
Thank you, guys. Love you all. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.